Hey Denchbags, what's going on? It's LandonRemixes here, and it is time for a little bit of a different video. Now, I myself am not a huge fan of YouTube vloggers, often because they seem to skew information a lot, which is why I kind of hate myself for doing this video. So I guess my point behind making this video is to accurately get the truth across and kind of get some new thoughts out about the situation at hand. I also figured it would be better for you guys to hear this directly from me rather than someone else at some later point, because I've had a lot of people talk to me about, oh, I heard you've got Twitter beef with Getter, or I heard you got roasted by Getter, or that I've been called out. And the truth of the matter is that none of these statements are entirely correct. Basically, the story is last September I did a review of Getter's most recent EP called What the Frick, and I didn't take to the EP too kindly. At the time of listening, I probably thought it was Getter's worst EP to date. There definitely were some good things I had to say about the EP though, especially in the spots that I thought Getter was doing some seriously good experimentation and stepping out of his normal comfort zone. About a week ago though, I noticed that I was starting to get abnormal comments on the reviews, and I felt like I was being hated on a lot more than usual, especially for a video I uploaded way back in September. One person making fun of the way I said Oslaw instead of Oslaw.
It's Leviosa.
And of course I was a bit curious, but I didn't really think much of it at the time. But then on my birthday, which was last Monday, I decided to go on Twitter and found out that Getter had tweeted about the EP review. Thanks to Twitter user RayLG7, who responded to the tweet mentioning me, and Getter's original tweet went as follows. Found this on YouTube, LMAO, and then basically he posted a slightly modified version of the description that I had for the review. When I saw this tweet, I was actually freaking out because I thought it was hilarious that he tweeted out that I thought his review was pure trash. So kind of as a joke, my initial response to the tweet said, offering my deepest gratitude for the support, I'd like to thank my parents and all my loyal fans, and then I went into probably a more serious response just in case Getter was actually being serious about trying to roast me, and it appears that he wasn't. I said, keep doing what you do though, I've been around since Hollow Point and don't plan on leaving anytime soon. If you didn't see, Planet Neutral got a solid 9 back when that one released. You've done some truly inspirational stuff. I didn't fully expect Getter to respond to this tweet, but he ended up doing it, and what he replied with is probably the biggest topic of conversation that I have. He replied with, I'm nit, presumably not, hating on you. I appreciate the honesty, but it's probably hard for you to understand the new stuff if you're stuck on the old. And the thing is, this tweet makes the tiniest bit of sense only if Getter didn't watch the EP review at all. Especially regarding when he said, but it's probably hard for you to understand the new stuff if you're stuck on the old. If he would have watched the EP review, he would have known that I disliked the EP strongly because I felt like most of the material on it was so recycled. Heck, my favorite track on the EP is literally called Something New, and probably the main reason why I gave What the Frick such a low rating is because Getter is making himself out to be this figure that is really stepping boundaries and doing something that he's never done before. And really, I think most of the EP, he's just kind of copy-pasting what the rest of the dance music community is doing. And that's absolutely not to say that Getter does it worse than others, because I honestly think some of the tracks on this EP are pretty great. Like, I re-listened to it just a couple days ago. Looking back at it, the What the Frick VIP is actually pretty awesome, and I might even prefer it over the original at this point, as well as Hecka Tight, which is one of the better works that I've heard in breaks, as that scene's kind of been blowing up. But personally, when I review an EP or an album, when I rate it, I tend to give it a rating based on the overall concept, and Getter's concept with this EP seemed to be that he wanted to put away more of his old styles and be kind of adapting to something new, and I really feel like he wasn't doing that with this EP. And just to restate that, I don't think Getter's new music is really terrible at all. In fact, I'm very much still a fan of his work. I just think he's a tad bit hypocritical. I also think it would be wise to mention Getter's second response to me, which said, oh, you're a writer for Your DM. The pure trash review makes sense now. And I think this would be a good time to talk about this on the channel just so there's no confusion. My writing as a writer on Your EDM and my work on YouTube as a music critic are two entirely different entities. If you guys didn't know, my reviews on Your EDM actually go by a lot of different standards than my reviews here do. And although the numbers might often crunch out pretty close, that's only because I'm the same person. If you guys didn't already know this though, Getter has had a clear bias against Your EDM ever since we wrote an April Fool's Day article about him, which I was not in any way involved in. I write about Monster Cat content, and that's basically it. Maybe another premiere outside the label here and there, but Getter's comment to me as a writer on your EDM makes very little sense in the context of this argument, because my channel and me as a writer are two very separate things. Anyway, I hope this video was able to clarify a couple things for you guys. No end card, no Spotify in the description, anything like that today. Just straight information on this video, and I'm sorry this had to come in the way of my normal upload schedule, but I just felt like some things needed to be said. Anyway, I will see you guys Tuesday for a review I am very excited to upload, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.